Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our broadcast webinar today. And sorry about starting it a little late, a few minutes due to some technical difficulty. And I hope you guys can see my screen. If you guys can, please leave a message so that I would know that you are not able to see the screen. So today we'll get to our topic. Our today's topic is how you can use the configuration package to simplify your day-to-day tasks, your day-to-day job, right? So I want to give a couple of examples here. Um, for example, some of our customers, they wanted to use the configuration package um, to update, their payroll. So they typically use a different software where they export that payroll information and they wanted to bring that into Business Central. So things like that can be done using a configuration package. Similarly, if you are using any kind of AR application, third-party application or AP application, or typically what happens is vendors change their pricing, right, with time to time, and you just have to mass update your information in Business Central for those items. So that's what you can do, change the pricing via configuration package. However, there are other techniques in Business Central as well, which is more simpler when it comes to, for example, edit in Excel. You can do edit in Excel and mass update some of those tasks. However, today's topic is configuration package. So we'll use the configuration package method to accomplish some of these tasks. And obviously for consultants, we use configuration package for data migration, pretty much, bringing all kind of data into Business Central. So very important. It's configuration is something that we use on our day-to-day, right? So we'll get to our agenda as I went through some of the introduction. The first thing that we want to look at is how we can update our prices for the items, and the second thing that we want to look at is updating the salespersons, right? It's just another task that people want to do. For example, in a company, if someone's changing a company, or some of the staff has changed, or some of the customers are assigned to a different salesperson, we'll take a look at how you can quickly change the salesperson um, from one salesperson to the other, right? Assigning the same customers to the other salesperson. So we'll take a look at that. All right. So I will go to our Business Central. So in Business Central, first thing is updating the prices, right? So here we want to take a look at the items that we have in Business Central. Right now I have inventory and non-inventoried items. So I want to change some of the pricing for these items. Let's say one of the vendor has changed their pricing, so I want to update those using the configuration package. So first thing I want to search for is configuration package. And I would open the configuration package list, right? So I have created some of the configuration packages previously that we can use, or you can create a new one by clicking on the new. And for example, here I want to give it a name. For example, update prices for items. Okay. So usually the code has a limit. So you would enter that information in the description. Update prices for the items. Okay. You're giving it a code. You have given it a name. Now in the table ID, we will click on these three dots, which will show the tables that Business Central have. You would use the search, or you can simply scroll down. In this case, I'll use the search functionality to look for items table. Right. So item, I would click OK. It pulled 27, table number 27, and I would tab off until I get to the second line. Okay, it is saying that some of the fields may have more related tables. Do you want to check them? You can if you want. In this case, I would say I don't need to update any other tables. For now, I just want to update the prices for some of the items that have changed the prices. Here we have different fields. The important one is number of the fields included, right? So we'll click on the 164 fields. We do not want to change all these fields. However, we are only interested in the sales price for the item. So I would click on the edit list and I would say clear everything that's included, right? And then as I clicked on this filter, I see that this has been filtered as anything that's included. I would say let's take off that filter. And now I can say, okay, I can pick, you can pick different fields. The helpful one is description, so that I would know that which item's price am I going to change, right? Description is sometimes helpful. And then let's see, unit price. Okay. Okay, so we want to change these unit price for the items. So we picked 3 of the fields here. And now I am going back to my configuration package card. As you can see, it is still saying 164, so you can update your page, refresh your page just to make sure that it has selected only 3 fields that you want to deal with, right? I will click on Excel and I will say export to Excel. And I would say yes, I want to continue. It has downloaded an Excel file for me that has a list of all the items. I would enable editing. I would select everything, and now I have the list of all the items with the item numbers, their description, and their unit price. Okay, so you can simply, if you have a list of, if you have got a list of items and updated prices, you can simply copy and paste, depending on it has relevant item number and everything. However, here I would simply change the price. Here the price is $200. Let's see that. Let's say that the vendor has. Now I want to sell it for $300 based on the what number? Based on my cost, right? So this was $1,100. I was selling it for $1,100. Now I want to sell it for $1,300. There's a change of $200. And similarly, you can do it for all the items, right? So for now, we will the price for these 2 items, 300 and 1,300. We changed from 200 to 300 and 1,100 to $1,300. Okay, I will save this file as an Excel, and I would go back to my configuration package card. Now I will click back on my Excel, and right where I exported the file from, I have the option to import the Excel file. I would pick that file from, and I would simply say import. Okay. It has now that you got the notification that the updated has been imported, the next step is you would click on functions and apply data. All right, so now you got the notification that one table has been processed, 0 errors found, 0 records have been inserted. However, 2 records have been modified. So for those 2 items, we have modified the pricing. So this looks good. If you have any errors, it would show you that these are the errors, and you can fix them on the fly as well. That would be populated here. You would click on those errors and it would tell you, if you need to change something or you need to make any kind of changes, you can fix those. In this case, everything went smooth. I would go to my items to see if the pricing has changed from 200 to 300 and 1100 to $1,300. And I think it was 313. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, that the price has changed from 200 to 300 and 1100 to $1,300. So similarly, you can update your pricing for all these items very quickly, right? And then you can import that in those configuration packages. Another use case that's on list for today's webinar is, for example, if one salesperson has assigned another salesperson's customers, so we can mass update the salesperson on the customer list, right? So here we have the list of all the customers. As I can see that the salesperson code for top probably 10 customers or maybe more have BC, which is, if I click on the BC, it's Benjamin Chow. And for some of them, we have Esther, right? So for this case, we would say that Esther has been given a different role, and now BC or Benjamin is going to take care of all the customers that were assigned to Esther, right? For that, we would use our configuration package. We'll come back to our configuration package list, and I would create a configuration package for this purpose. I would give it a name that I can use. For example, update customer or persons, right? I would say update salespersons. Okay, so you can give it any name. I have given it update salesperson, as I know that the salesperson field was on the customer card. I would pick that customer. One trick that I want to mention here is sometimes you won't know that where would I basically, which table number do I need, right? So for that, I would say that, for example, anywhere you see that field, anywhere that you see that salesperson code, right? For example, if I'm clicking here and I'm seeing the salesperson code is on customer card, right? If you do not know the table name, you can always go to inspect element. You can go there by using the help and support and then inspect element link. And if I click here, it would tell me that the table number is 18. So for anything that's visible here, these fields are available in that table. So you can pick that table number 18. So that's just a tip that if you are not sure which table you need to bring in configuration package, you can look that by using the inspect element. Now, similarly, just like we have done before, we do not want to update all 116 fields, right? So these are all the fields that you can update using this table. So I would edit the list and I would say I want to clear everything that's being included. So it would only leave what's basically mandatory or primary key in database terms. So I would clear that include filter. And then I would say I want name just so I would know that which customer that is. You know, sometimes people would need the customer name along with the customer number just to identify the customer. And then the next field that I want to update is the salesperson code, right? So you can simply scroll down, or you can also search for salesperson code. Salesperson code, and I would say include that, right? So now we have salesperson code checked as included, and then these other two fields, customer number and customer name. Okay, now I'll get back to my configuration package card, and just to make sure that it's not including 116 fields, rather it's only including what I have selected earlier, only 3 fields that I want. Now I can see 3 fields, looks good. I would do the same process, export to Excel. I would say yes. I would open the Excel file that has been exported. Enable editing. Now I have the table, customer table that has customer number, customer name, and associated salesperson code, right? So either you can, in this case, I can simply drag it because I do want to change the EH to BC, or you can use the word find and replace, right? If it's like, if the customer numbers are scattered, right? For example, I want to replace Esther by Benjamin, right? So there's a Benjamin's salesperson code, the other one's Esther's salesperson code. So I want to replace Esther with Benjamin that way. All footings. Now, all Esther has been replaced by Benjamin's code. Okay. All right, I'll save this Excel sheet. And I'll go back to my configuration package card, and I would import from Excel. And then I would select the file that I have imported, exported earlier and updated, right? And I would click on import. So if it shows in red, it doesn't mean that you're like, you have done an error or anything. This is the only place you should like seeing the color red, right, in the configuration pack. It says that has been imported. Now you need to apply it. You would click on functions and apply data. Okay, one table has been processed, 0 errors found, 14 records have been modified, right? So if I go to customer list, every Esther has, now this hasn't been refreshed yet. So as soon as I will refresh, you would see that all Esther customers have been assigned to Ben, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, now all the customers that were assigned to Esther have been assigned to Benjamin, right? So these were the simple use cases that customers do on day-to-day basis, right? Similarly, you can update any of the information using the configuration packages. Okay, let me take, okay, so I have a question here. Could you add a filter to only return salesperson as terrorists so that you could change them all? Could you add a filter to only return salesperson? Yes, so that you could change them all. Add a filter to only return salesperson as terror. So that you can, yeah, yes, you can do that. You can add filters in configuration package as well. Yeah, you don't have to like export all of that, but you can always add filters to only drill it down to exactly what you need to update, right? So you can do that. Similarly, just to round it off, payroll information, you can do that by having a configuration package for general journal, AR, AP, pricing, and just about anything, right? Usually we typically do it for pretty much all the fields when we need to bring the customers from a different legacy system. If you do not have like a built-in tool, then we use configuration package to bring the mass data into Business Central. Items, vendors, chart of accounts, pretty much all this stuff can be imported using the configuration package. Okay, so these were some of the day-to-day use cases that we have looked at, right? And I'll stop here for a few more moments for any other questions. And in the meanwhile, we have Spring into Savings going on right now, where you buy more, save more. It's going until May 31st. So you have different packages, different tools that you can buy, and you would get up to 50% off. And you can visit our website for more information. And we will have some upcoming webinars, so keep an eye out for our email, and we will have more information regarding our webinars. All right, well, thank you so much. This ends our today's webinar. Again, we'll come up with more creative topics and hopefully see you in the next webinar.